the wrong button, and I hit the wrong button in OBS. I hit start recording, but not start streaming.
Yeah.
So I pressed the wrong button because
There we go.
yeah, because like in OBS settings, I have it so that when I start streaming, it'll automatically do start recording. So it's largely an irrelevant button for me. But sometimes I'll fat finger it, even though I'm using a mouse. Okay, so actually streaming that.
Mindustry or Mindustry.
I'm not sure if it's called Mindustry or Mindustry. I go with Mindustry. Okay, so checklist. I can see your audio move when you talk. We're actually
Yeah, I can see that too.
We're actually streaming. Good.
Hello, whoever's watching. 24 currently watching. I don't know if that's accurate.
I don't know. I don't know. It's funny because ever since I've just said fuck it and I post to the forum and Proctor's Discord and stuff, I'll get between 20 and 30 depending whether I'm against him or Murray or not. But usually the actual, like, that's just CCV, but the actual views after the video is usually like half. But the numbers aren't nearly as squirrely as YouTube. YouTube numbers are just made up bullshit.
Yeah, actually, when you finish streaming, it takes a bit before it counts all the views that happen during the stream. Like, for example, if 50 people click on your video and after you end the stream, it's gonna take at least a couple of hours before you actually see the view count go up to 50 on that VOD. That's my observation.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay,
Just takes a while to update, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we should introduce ourselves to the 20 odd people that are watching. I'm Zenler, and this is UberSoldat.
Hello, I am a fan of FPS and RTS games, but I mostly play FPS because that's my comfort genre.
Yeah, pretty much that's the discussion of today, is just shooting the shit about games, specifically, you know, just games we like, and of course we're probably just gonna jive because we like the older games and stuff. I mean, for fuck's sakes, I'm playing the Factorio knockoff, so.
Yeah, I looked this one up, and apparently it was a mobile game, and so I guess this is a PC port or something.
To my understanding, I like this. Oh shit! I can't see my mouse cursor when I'm on the game. Ooh, I have to actually look at my capture. Okay, so.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so
I can see it now.
Well, I can see it in OBS, but I can't see it on my screen.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I'm just gonna move my OBS window over to my main.
By the way, are you using one monitor or two monitors?
I got three monitors, but
yeah.
well, two are good, and my TV, which is my third monitor, is like fucking. When the fuck did I buy that? I bought that in like 2010.
Damn.
So I just use that pretty much just for Discord.
Wait, it has an HDMI port?
Oh yeah.
2010. Oh, okay.
HD format actually started around when did that start? It started like it started rolling out like late 90s, early 2000s, like the HD format.
Yeah, I should I should look up the history of that just for future.
Yeah. What was my turn? Okay, yeah. So Ministry, it's pretty much a Factorio clone with more emphasis on tower defense and RTS, but very basic RTS. And I like it because it's an open source game, so you can play it on anything. And the only reason why it costs a little bit of money on Steam, if you were to look it up on Steam, is because that's like literally the only platform where Buddy put a price tag on it, just say like, look, I can make some money, but it's free everywhere else if you just want to play it.
That's an interesting business decision. One I won't judge, I guess.
Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be weird.
So so you can get for free on GitHub and itch.io and for $10 on Steam. Is that? Oh no, is that? I don't know. I think that's a regional thing. Never mind.
No, you can get it. Like you can get the PC version on GitHub or pretty much anywhere in the links.
Itch.io, yeah.
Yeah.
App Store, Android. Yeah, this guy ported to everything.
Okay,
Wait, so it's made by one dude?
yeah, one dude. Okay, I'm gonna try Game Capture because it's way too squirrely for my liking. Okay, much better. I can actually see my mouse cursor in the game now. Again.
Wait, the VOD. Let me just go live. Okay. All right. So you said you can see in the game. Okay. For a second, I thought I couldn't see it in the VOD. Okay, never mind.
Well, no, like, it's work. It was working fine on like OBS / the VOD and stuff, but for me, like, bouncing my eye between both screens to move my cursor and stuff is just not worthwhile. And oh my fuck, I hate these things. They'll just tread over everything. Walls don't mean shit.
Yeah, I don't think I can get into this type of game. It requires a lot of dedication.
Fuck. Might have to load. I'm really scummy for games. I'll just reload earlier saves and like, okay, fix this.
Yeah, no shame on that. Everyone saves scums, except the most hardcore people.
Well, I'll play a game legitimately the first time around. But there comes a point where it's like, all right, I don't care. I'll look up strats or I'll cheese it or whatever. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I have done that on stream before, and once again, no shame on that. Sometimes things are just too confusing.
Well, in my case, the way this game works, it does have like phases and triggers and stuff. And once I learn, like, okay, they're gonna come from over there, kind of thing, and it's like, okay. Like, for example, I didn't have any towers in the middle of my base, so of course they just railroad straight to my Nexus or whatever the fuck it's called, core.
Oh.
So I saw you were playing 40K earlier.
Yeah, I recently I started playing Mechanicus yesterday. It's pretty fun, but the RNG can really screw you over sometimes, or most of the time.
But I believe it. So is 40K Mechanicus, is that the fucking XCOM knockoff?
I think so. I've never played XCOM, but I think you're right. Yes.
Yeah, I relate every single game on the face of the planet to it's like it's a clone of this.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much how you identify the games quickly. It's this mixed with that, like the journalists do, you know? It's Breath of the Wild mixed with Ark, mixed with this.
Many such cases. Oh, I think I might have to go all the way from the start. Please get stuck. Yes, stay stuck.
So is this game multiplayer or just single player?
Oh no, it's multiplayer, and you don't have to go through. Oh, nice, good. You don't have to go fuck around with like server settings or whatever. It's like old fashioned. Like, okay, what's your IP address? Okay, let's go. Or matchmaking service. It's all built in.
No.
I haven't actually tried it yet. I like it. Like you saw, this is like done by one guy as a passion project and stuff. So it's really
I
fun.
wish I had that passion.
Yeah, me too. I
I mean,
remember when
I'm sorry, go ahead.
when me and my buds were kids and stuff. Like we all wanted to make video games and stuff, and pretty much I was the only one who didn't go into like game design and stuff. And funny enough, I was the only one who actually ended up getting their proper career because everyone they all went to DeVry, and DeVry is a scam college, and they all got screwed over for their degrees and being worthless and stuff. And me, I went for my geology degree, and that was that.
Yeah, when I was younger, I wanted to get into game design as well, as I was always into computers and software. That's why I want to do game design specifically, but then my parents convinced me that it's too specific and you know pretty lacking in scope in most areas in the world. So I should do something more general. So that's why I went with a more general purpose software degree.
Well, yeah, I got told very early on, work to make money to fund your passion projects, because whoever said the expression like, work a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life is fucking horseshit. Because if you do what you love, it becomes work, and then you stop loving it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. As soon
Okay.
as you find something that you see, the best balance that I can think of is if you find a job or a piece of work that you actually like doing and you make decent money off of that, then I don't think you have anything to be worried about if it's a stable income.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And those friends of yours you mentioned, how are they doing right now?
Let's see. My main best friend, he ended up getting his boiler ticket, so he mostly does maintenance work at a hospital, and that pays pretty good. The other buds, effectively, there's no nice way of putting it. They lost their fucking minds. Like one ended up being a NEET, and the other one literally got committed.
Oh, I see.
No, I'm not being hyperbolic. They actually went nuts. So it's just like me and my main bud were just like, yeah, aspirations fell apart there somewhere. Much like my base right now.
Yeah, I won't go into too much detail, but I am trying to find some kind of opening for myself because I don't work anymore. So, I still have a software degree that I haven't utilized very well the past few years. I'm trying to remedy that, but I'm just struggling to find something, you know?
Yeah, I'm not too far off the same boat. I got laid off during Rona, and I've been just living off savings and investments right now. But it's starting to run dry, so I actually need to start applying for work. I've been saying this for like a year or two now. At this point, it's like, but now it's kind of getting too late, to the point of I'm gonna have to start liquidating some hard assets if I don't.
Yeah, but hopefully you'll make it in the end.
Oh, well, where I'm at right now, I literally just have to make a phone call, and I could probably get a job. Like I can probably just turn around and go back to my old job right now because they have a high turnover rate right now, and they're hurting for people.
High turnover rate, that is not a sign of good things.
No, but I can make bank, and the work is easier now because they updated the workflow. It's just a
Okay.
work culture at that place. Okay, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The mine I worked at, the deposit itself is as good as the company is bad. So
All right.
it largely comes down to being a mixed bag. Like I like the work in and of itself, but yeah, I know some of the people are fine there, but others make it really bad for everyone.
Oh yeah, definitely want to avoid that.
There's only so much you can
But
do.
sometimes you don't really have a choice
Nope.
because most people in the world, like most people in the world don't get the job or career that they actually want because they just do whatever pays the bills, whatever is stable enough.
Well, I do what like myself. I do whatever pays the bills and stuff, and I like the work in and of itself. But it's just kind of like surrounding stuff to it. Like I'll pick on my old job specifically. There was like this one old coot who is not a geologist, but tries to boss around geologists, and I put the kibosh on that the instant I started and stuff, and we've been mortal enemies ever since because I was the first person to tell him no.
Yeah, work culture can get really bad. I'm just grateful I haven't experienced any of that yet.
it's one of those things where it's like, hey Godzilla, go do this. I'm like, no, I'm not going to lose my license. It's like, f off, you go do it. You lazy bastard, you go do it. I'm not going to just jeopardize my license because it's like you don't want to do your quote unquote job. It's like fuck off. And it was like that for like 10 odd years. I actually got laid off just before my 10th year. It was nuts.
Oh.
I don't know. Fingers crossed that there's enough of turnover that some of the other headache people might be gone by this point if I go back.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not looking for a job because, let's be honest, no one's really hiring software developers right now. You're better off looking for freelance work or open source projects or stuff like that.
Well, yeah, my friends who went for their computer science / game degrees and stuff. Not only was their degrees useless because of the college they went to was a scam college and stuff, but the fact of the matter is, in the early 2000s, the market was flooded with everyone had a computer science degree, so well, it's bitter.
Yeah, now you see what the state of the industry right now. I don't know if you're even seeing. You must be seeing all these stories of layoffs.
Yeah,
different companies.
Yeah, but some of them I'm okay with because how do I put this? It's like, LOL, coal miners, you got laid off. Go learn the code. Fast forward a couple years later. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Did you learn the code yet either? No? Then fuck off. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this map. Actually, fuck it. I don't care. My attention's lost.
Oh, please, protect your core.
Uh, I kind of screwed myself over for my base layout, so I'd have to restart it from scratch. So I'm just gonna just have a blank screen. We're just gonna chit chat. Let's see, UberSoldat. Text stepper on, and that's the amount of effort I'm gonna put into it. Yeah.
Wait, what did you do?
I closed the game and I just put on
Oh,
text,
okay.
the upper text.
Sometimes the stream, I can't tell, but sometimes the stream stops for like a second or two, so I have to catch up with the like button.
Well, sometimes Odyssey has been good for a while now. When it shits the bed, it really shits the bed. But my latency has been green for the last week or so, or the last couple of weeks. So I don't know.
No, I
So
think that's just an issue on my end. Sometimes it'll just stop for 2 seconds. I can't even tell. Does
yeah.
Odyssey allow you to turn off live replay?
Okay, so the way Odyssey works with live streams is that it will not automatically post the video once it's over. Like once the stream is over, it won't automatically post. You have to go into the that particular stream settings and update, and it gives you the choice of uploading the recording they have on their end, or you can upload your own version from your end. And I've done that a few times, uploading my OBS recording, because sometimes their end of the their cloud recording of the stream, sometimes I've noticed the audio will be weird, maybe like 1 out of 10 streams. It sounds like low or slow, and I'll sound weird, so I'll just say fuck it, ignore using the replay and just upload my copy.
All right. So when you connect to with OBS, so it basically streams the thing, but does it make a separate recording, or how does that work?
Well, when I stream on Odyssey, Odyssey makes its own recording, and I make my own recording in OBS. So at the end of the day, there's one in the cloud and there's one on my computer, and I
Oh,
get the
okay, I see.
and I
As a
and I get
backup.
as a backup, and I get to choose which one Odyssey will use when I actually I can just show my window. Show Brave. No, not Steam. Brave. Okay, so the option above the reset stream, update or publish replay. I can't do it right now since I'm alive, but uh, it's literally the first option. It's like, okay, what do you want to use for this upload?
Update or problem. Ah, okay, I see.
Yeah,
Actually good. Thing
yeah.
with YouTube is that if you make a mistake on stream, you have to wait until the entire video renders, then you can edit it out.
I've had to do that a couple. I've had to do that a couple times.
Yeah. Like during Metro, like there are certain scenes where the tits are out and I had to quickly cut that out of the stream, but I had to wait until the VOD is fully rendered.
Well, in OBS, I have a the literal top source I have is a sensor screen, but I've never really had to use it per se.
Yeah, I've never bothered with sensors.
I don't know. I just took a lot of notes from like streamers and YouTubers and VTubers I watch and stuff. It's like, okay, this is kind of like the quote unquote checklist of stuff I ought to do, and I did, even if I never ended up using a lot of this stuff. It was just the thing to do.
Yeah, I get it. I guess I gotta up my stream game.
I don't know. I'm only putting in enough effort just for shits and giggles.
Hmm. Yeah, you say that, shits and giggles, but the thing is, how long will this gig last?
I don't know till I get bored.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not making money off of this. I'm just doing it for my own amusement because I always wanted to. So I did.
Same. I was never aiming for monetization anyway. And it sounds like a lot of hassle anyway. Like even when you do get monetization, you have to worry about copyright and what you can or can't stream.
Yeah, that's effectively why I abandoned YouTube. Once I got the medical misinformation strike on my channel, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that was BS, man.
Well, a lot of people said when that happened. A lot of people said it's like, wow, I'm surprised you went as far, lasted as long as you did. I'm like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's why I just bother with games only.
Yeah, I said it before. Like, I'm not that big for watching game streams. That's why I'll only pop into yours like once in a while just to say hi, if there's nothing else really going on.
Yeah, see where I live, like most VTubers don't stream, so that's already like an advantage that gives people an option of, oh, hey, this guy's streaming, but no one else is streaming, so let's check him out. I mean, cool. If people pop in, sure, that's good. But I'm not really aiming for like high CCV and a big network of people. Just like I'm doing it for fun, like you said.
Well, yeah, like that's like I number fag once in a while and stuff, but I don't mean to number fag in and of itself. I'm just like, hey, I noticed this.
Yeah,
This is interesting. I find this interesting. Do you find this interesting? Kind of thing.
I mean, if I see like sometimes I see like higher than usual number of viewers, and when that happens, like cool, okay. But I'm not really too miffed about it.
Yeah, I don't know. This is all just for funsies, much like games, which was the original topic choice that we selected. So you like shooters and stuff. So what's some of the old shooters you like to play?
All right, we got. Let me just open Steam. I'll just list you. Specifically have a folder called Doom clones.
Yeah,
I mean, we have the big three. You got Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein, and then you got some other ones like Medal of Honor, uh, Counter Strike, Half Life.
I've never really
What's
been a
it
bit.
called? Oh, sorry.
I never really been a big FPS guy, but I can say without a shadow of doubt, my first FPS game was literally Wolfenstein 3D on a shitty MS DOS computer that my dad got off a garage sale.
It's a good
I,
start. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like sea, deer, games. It's like, ooh, Wolfenstein, sweet.
Yeah, but I've also I've been playing FPS for so long that I decided, you know what, I should start branching out to other genres. Like I've also played RTSs before, and so I started playing some more RTSs now. Like I got Halo Wars recently. There are a bunch more coming out this year, like Homeworld, 9-bit armies. So I'm hoping I can at least, diversify my content on my channel because I don't want to be playing just one genre all the time.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of some streamers do get in that little rut and stuff. And the instant if they don't do it out of the gate and branch out of the gate and stuff, the instant they do that, their audience is like, "What the fuck? I came here just for this." So it's like, well, you pigeonhole yourself, so eat it.
Yeah, I haven't encountered that yet. I mean, because we don't really pull in high CCV to begin with.
Yeah, I'm just going through my
I've had
mental.
one guy though. He comes and he suggests something. I think he's some kid who just got a computer for the first time. He suggests, "Oh, hey, can you try check this out? Check that out."
I Yeah, anytime I see someone like that, it's like, oh, you gotta try this, you gotta try this. I'm like, I like your energy, I like your exuberance. You're probably a kid. Because it's like who has that level of energy anymore on the internet or in life?
Yeah, you just know who's behind that computer screen.
I know it was kind of funny when we had to deal with Nolan's exuberance until we realized he was a retarded man child.
I'm actually lucky I never had to deal with him personally.
I did, and I very early on called it in that he's the VTuber community's equivalent of Chris Chan. In that he's an autistic man who just wants attention regardless of whether or not it's positive or negative. And people are like, oh no, he's fine, he's a bundle of joy, bright sunshine and rainbows. And then the details started coming out, and then people started realizing, oh wait, he doesn't learn, he's just a literal autistic attention whore. Oh, and I'm like, called it.
Yeah, I don't know how long it'll be until he pulls his own Chris Chan moment, like what Chris did with his mother.
Well, I'm just waiting for his father to murder him.
Yeah, I mean, you can blame Nolan, but you should also blame his parents. Like, if I read that his dad uh drinks himself, like just to avoid taking care of his kids. I mean, if you aren't
Well,
a good father, that's one of the signs.
Well, considering Nolan's sister committed suicide, I kind of don't blame the dad at this point. Now, whether that was
Yeah.
at the beginning or not, I don't know, and I don't care enough to double check.
Mm. I mean, that's all I know about Nolan. I haven't really delved deep into his like lore and all that. I just read the surface, like, okay, yeah, someone needs to take care of this kid.
Yes, that didn't happen, nor is it ever going to happen.
Who knows? Maybe someone will finally put him in the ward.
Yeah, I've always been a proponent of bringing back insane asylums. They served a purpose.
Chris would be the first person there.
Oh God, he would be like the king of the tards. It's like it's like the inmates will whisper in hushed tones. It's like, did you hear what? The Chris Chan is in this asylum. It's like, no, get out of town.
Asylum boogeyman.
When you least suspect it. It's like, oh God. Uh, so funny thought, like the demon that possessed Chris Chan went into Ralph, and then my bet is that the demon went from Ralph to Ricada.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's the thing about these guys who like KF likes to focus on. All I don't really know much about them because I don't keep up with a lot of these lol cows to begin with. But I heard about Rikita, and that was from when Vic had his case against the other voice actors. And from what I heard, he messed it up pretty badly. It cost Vic a lot of money.
Yeah, so long story short, Nick made the GoFundMe for Vic, and Nick recommended his friend Ty Beard to represent Vic, and Ty Beard and his company and his law firm dropped the ball on Vic. And ever since then, it's been a steady decline for Nick. And the long story short is that Nick has had a midlife crisis and is regretting being married with an army of kids right now. And he's midlife crisising his liver and life down the drain. And that's pretty much all it
Yeah,
comes down to it.
yeah, I read some stuff about his recent alcoholism. Dude needs some help, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, here's the thing with Nick and stuff, because I followed the Wii Wars, like the Kick Vic stuff, like from day one. But the night I show you not the night before the ruling that Vic got, I bailed because I felt it in my bones that shit was gonna get stupid, and it did. And I was very thankful that I listened to my gut and I got out.
Yeah, it's a good thing I
Uh,
don't bother with uh what do you call this? You have events or stories,
yeah,
but yeah,
well,
I don't bother them too much to begin with because it's too much negativity, man. I don't
well,
like it.
Well, I do me personally. I do like internet drama and all this stuff, but I try to just take a page out of Jim's book and just like stand back and just laugh at things, and definitely
Yeah,
do not get invested in things.
don't participate.
No,
Yeah, I wonder what Vic's doing these days.
I'm sure he
I think he
probably
got like a role in something, and
No,
that's it.
I'm sure he's doing fine. And as far as the as far as the Kick Vic group goes and stuff, they are living on borrowed time because the anime industry in Japan is slowly starting to wake up to the bullshit in the West that their properties are mismanaged and stuff. So the sword of Damocles is slowly dropping, and just give it a little bit of time.
Yeah, I heard some stuff about localization and changing the meaning of a scene.
Yeah,
I'm sure
that
they don't appreciate that, the
well,
writers in
well,
Japan.
well. Here's the thing: like the side of Japan for a lot of that stuff was ignorant on what was going on, and now like the Western fans are like, "Look, do you see what your contractors are doing?" And they're like, "Motherfucker." you know, like the wrath of a fury, like the wrath of furious Nippon. They'll
They
bring up.
finally give a shit about international affairs. Huzzah!
I have a love hate relationship with Japan. I really do. Japan is so pants on head
Yeah,
retarded in the weirdest shit. It's just like, do you have no business sense? Like TLDR for Japanese economy history. Like the reason why the bubble burst in the 80s and 90s and stuff because it was literally one giant scam. Every single company on the face of Japan and every single bank had gentlemen's agreements with each other to fudge the books. Everyone was in on this, and the instant one person said "boo," the whole system collapsed. It was fucking hilarious.
and so I guess that's why we have the lost decades now.
Yes, that's well, Japan specifically. That's why Japan has the lost decades, is because the economy was one giant scam and it fell apart, and it's been trying to rebuild ever since. Now, the reason why I bring this up is that hey, you want to rebuild your economy? There's a whole worldwide economy out there. And you don't even have to do shit. You just have to engage with it. Barely have to lift a finger, just engage with it.
But I guess they haven't been doing that because, they like to do things their way, and their way is only one way.
All I'm saying
Just
is
don't like innovation.
all I'm saying is that the Commodore Perry didn't do anything wrong. Dude had a point.
I wish I knew who that was.
He was the American commander who went to Japan back in the day with the gunboats and said, "Hey, Japan, open up your door. We're trading." It's like, but nothing. I have the giant fuck off boats with the giant fuck off guns. You are opening your door to trade, whether you like it or not, and that's the way it's been ever since. It's great. It's like that. Actually, I do have the picture. Let me see. Picture, pack, image, full, show, select. Okay, where do I have it? Media, my pictures, Godzilla. There it is. I'll just move that to the top. Uh, Commodore, this picture that I gimped back in the day, that I superimposed my fat face on, is Commodore. This here is Matthew Perry, aka Commodore Perry. So this picture that I overlaid everything is the guy in question who went, knock knock, open your fucking door, or in my case, knock knock, enough for the lore, you fucking nips. Because this was back like early Hololive, and every time a new generation were to come out with like lore and stuff. Like remember specifically it was Council. When Council came out, there was so much fucking lore. It was just like, I don't give a shit. Most people don't give a shit. Lore's gonna be gone within a day. Why put so much effort into it? Fuck.
Because Japan.
Again, it comes back to the initial thing of, I like Japan, but in certain regards, they are fucking retarded.
My thoughts exactly. I don't appreciate most of the things they do, but some things they do put out is actually pretty good.
Oh yeah. Hmm. I had a train of thought earlier. I'm trying to grab it again. Oh,
We
okay.
tanged it really hard from games.
I know. I'm trying to railroad it back to games. I'm going through my mental Rolodex of old FPS and stuff. Uh, did you play any of the ones that were on the 64?
60. I've never owned a 64, but I have played Doom 64.
Neat. Yeah, because the only FPSs I played back in the day, other than Wolfenstein 3D and Doom 2 on PC, was in no particular order: Turok, GoldenEye, and Doom 64.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've heard so much about GoldenEye, but I've never played it because you can only play
It,
it through emulators on PC.
it's one of those games. It was fun at the time, and specifically because of the multiplayer. So it was fun at the time. But going back, I probably wouldn't bother, because like I went back. I actually bought the Turok 1 and Turok 2 off of GOG, and I tried playing them. I'm just like, I can't do this. I just can't. Nostalgia can
The
only carry me so
remaster, you
far.
mean?
Not really remastered. Like, I mean, it's a little cleaner and it runs. They're a little cleaner and it runs on modern PCs. But otherwise, it's just like same old low poly, same old textures, and a couple of like PC options. And that's about it.
Yeah, if you're talking about the Night Dive remaster, yeah, they try to keep it as faithful as possible to the original. They don't try to change too much.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Yeah, they also released Rock 3 recently, but I heard that was not as good as 1 and 2.
Yeah, I heard rumblings about that, and given how I haven't even really bothered playing the two I have, I'm just like, you know what, I'm done. I'm good. Actually, I don't even think I ever played three back in the day. I only played one and two.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
just I'm just thinking for like shooters and stuff. Like I've never really been a big shooter guy, with the exception of rail shooters. Like
Oh,
R-Type,
yeah.
Star Fox. Like those like rail space shooter kind of things.
Oh, rail
Not to,
space shooters. No, no, I've never played that. I thought you talking about like those on rail shooters, like those
okay,
like
not not
Last of the Dead.
yeah, yeah, not, yeah. No, I meant more space shooters and not House of the Dead. Yeah,
Oh no, no.
yeah. I guess
I've not played Star Fox. No.
I guess they're two flavors of rail shooters, because at the end of the day, they are rail shooters, but they're two different like siblings of the rail shooter sub genre.
Yeah, because if we're talking rail shooters, the only The biggest two I can think of are Time Crisis and House of the Dead. And those are the ones that most people know anyway.
I think the only one I remember playing an arcade cabinet of Time Crisis, Star Splitters, or whatever that one was, and Jurassic Park had one. Jurassic Park
Yeah, Jurassic Park as well.
I played that. I've only found the arcade in the wild once, and I played it once. It was jank, but I was like, "Hey, I actually found it and played it." So I guess I did that, and never again.
Yeah, but unfortunately, there's no way to play these games anymore because no one bothered porting them to PC, and arcades are dying. So the only way to do it is either find a cabinet on a store or something on Amazon, or emulate it.
I know I was never really big an arcade guy and stuff, but if I were, my plan of action would probably be get like a MAME cabinet and just load it with everything.
And you can find space in your room, and you got the money for it. Sure.
Yeah, that's a big fucking if. Like like after university when I started working and stuff, and I kind of got stupid with some of my money, and in hindsight I collected a lot of like games series and stuff for the 3ds and new 3ds, pretty much like all my Pokemons, all my Marios, all my Zeldas, all the usual suspects and stuff. But like I kind of got stupid, and I barely played any of them. They're all just sitting in my storage, and it's just like they're sitting there. I could play them. I'd rather just play on my
Yeah,
PC.
I speaking of 3DS, right? I bought a 3DS a long time ago when I was in school, and I till now only have two games for it. It's Pokemon X and Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy, and I have not touched that in years now.
Yeah, shit.
The games are just too expensive, and trying to get it like at the time, I don't think there were that many flash cards available, so I had to rely on official games.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it had Mario Kart 7 installed, so that was just three games in total.
Yeah, like me and my circle of friends, we tried to stay legit as much as we can, but we could go pretty ghetto when we wanted to, as far as piracy and whatnot goes. And so some of those things were dodgy. I'm just like, well, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for my buds to stress test it first, and I'll be like, hey, does it work for you? Okay, good. Then I'll get a copy.
Yeah, I used to pirate nearly everything, but now I just try to go as legit as possible. That's why I put something on a wish list and I wait for a sale. I don't even buy it at full price because I'm a cheap bastard like that.
Yeah, I've long since started doing that. Even still, I'll just have like the itch or something. I'll be like, no, I'm gonna sleep on it. That's like a big thing. It's like, nope, sleep on it. And then once the day passes, I'm like, okay, the urge has passed. Clear your mind, yes or no.
Yeah, I'm a very careful spender. I get that urge sometimes. Oh, this is on sale. I should buy it. Oh, it's only a few dollars, man. I've done that a couple of times, but I've tried to rein in it as much as possible. So
It's
I'll only buy a game that I'm really, really interested in, or if it goes on sale for a pretty good price, or if push comes to shove, I'll just look for a key on all key shop.
it's hard sometimes.
Yeah, I still have a backlog to go through anyway. See here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 14 games on the backlog. One I'm already streaming right now, and the other one, two of them are in early access. I'm waiting for them to release, and the rest are like, yeah. No, three of them are in early access, yeah. Some of them are RPG, so that's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, I tried, but I have a I have a love hate relationship with art. I could. I could probably easily say I have a love hate relationship with my childhood as far as interests go. Like I've gone back for like platformers, RPGs, strategy games. Like some stuff I went back and played nowadays. I'm just like, why did I like this as a kid? I'm not having fun.
Uh, for some games, I was like that. Like for example, Allied Assault. That was one of the few Medal of Honor games I played on PC. And back in the day, I really loved that game. And recently, I got it on GOG, and when I streamed it, I had the bright idea of playing it on the hardest difficulty, and I didn't really have the best time.
Yeah, that'll do
Some of its aspects haven't really aged well. It's a decent game, but yeah, time wasn't kind to it.
it.
Yeah. So what are you playing right now? You said you're playing Mindustry and anything else?
Well, I was playing with PAL. I got heavy in the PAL world like everyone else did.
Yeah, I saw it.
But once I kind of maxed out, I'm just like, okay, I'll wait for like a major update or something. Like I haven't completed like the PAL deck or anything. And I was just like busy breeding and like min maxing some of my characters, and I was just like, I'll put it on the back burner. Go do something else now.
Yeah, that's the thing with Battle World. It's like it's a game. It's a cool game, but you play it for 3 4 days and you've pretty much seen everything, as Doki Bird put it.
Yeah, this is true.
There's just I think it's just living off the hype of a game that like Pokemon game that's open world and you get to do all this cool stuff that you couldn't do in a Pokemon game.
Well, yeah, it was novel, and I'll still stand by it. It's a good game, and it's a dangerous combination of genres.
Yeah, now it's just up to the developers if they can actually ride that hype and actually deliver on those updates and community feedback. Because if you look at Steam charts, it's already lost like what? Like I'm not saying it's a dead game. I'm just saying it's lost a bunch of players already. Like its all-time peak 2.1 million, and right now, just under an hour ago, it's 100,000 players. I mean
Yeah.
that tends to happen to every game, but this is a pretty big drop. Like, it's still 100,000 people though.
Oh, I'm sure it'll still do good long term stuff, but it was a flavor of the month thing. But I won't say flavor of the month derogatively,
Yeah, I can understand.
but definitely in practice it was.
Yeah, not every flavor of the month game is actually that bad. Like some of it is pretty good. Like Helldivers 2, I heard is pretty good. I want to get that on sale. I played Helldivers 1, but unfortunately I couldn't find anyone to play with. What else is there? Lethal Company, I have not bought that yet. Nope. But it does get annoying when that's all that people play.
Yeah, yeah, I do understand that.
So you were playing Pal World, Mindustry, and then you played Path of Exile and Grim Dawn and anything else?
Trying to think. As far as like current day stuff, I tend to just cycle the same few games. The only other honorable mentions that I haven't played in the last little while, but are on my current roster, would be Minecraft and Heroes 3.
Heroes of Might and Magic. Oh.
Other people than Slavs play Heroes of Might and Magic 3.
Yeah, I
I'm
heard that's a pretty long game.
I think I'm not gonna lie. I think I probably cheated through the main campaign. Mostly, what I play is just the random map versus computers.
Hmm. I'm actually a sucker for old games, so maybe in the future I might give it a shot. I think you can only buy it on GOG, right? I don't think it's on Steam.
I don't think it's on Steam, and it is on GOG. The only version worth getting is the the gold complete one, and that is on GOG. And the only recommendation for that I say is get the HD, the fan HD add-on. It's not really an HD add-on, but it does fix a lot of the bugs and smooth out some of the kinks. So it makes it worthwhile.
Oh, okay, interesting. It is on Steam, HD edition.
I think
But I
everyone's.
already got, like I said, I've got enough on my plate already. I want to get through that first,
Yeah,
especially the RPGs.
yeah, true. Like Power World was like the first game I bought in a long while because honestly, like I said, I'll just play the same few games over and over as I get bored, and I'll just cycle through and just watch, rinse, and repeat.
Yeah, I want to actually get like to your stage, basically, just play the same few games because right now I'm just uh, playing through the games for sake of finishing my backlog. But once I reach a stage, once I reach that stage, I want to choose a few games and just stick to those. I don't want to
Uh,
just keep cycling through game after game after game.
I don't know. In terms of game backlog, movie backlog, TV show backlog, book backlog, music backlog, I've I've honestly given up on all of that, and I'll be like, it's like, do I have this? Yes, I do. Okay, I'll try it. Which is why
Music
which is
backlog, huh?
yeah,
Interesting.
which is why getting something new is kind of like, do I want to spend something new when I have all this other stuff? It has to be worthwhile. And honestly,
Yeah, same thing for me for new games. I'm gonna wait. I usually wait for reviews, or if I've played a demo and I really like the demo, then I'll buy it. Like the System Shock remake, I really love that demo, and I decided to buy it on launch, and I actually had a good time.
I'm
But
cautiously
sometimes it's a gamble, it's
I'm
a risk.
cautious
Yeah,
I'm cautiously optimistic about the System Shock remake.
it is pretty good. If you like the original, then I think you'll like the remake as well.
I don't
It
think
took
I
me 23 hours to finish the first time
I
as a
don't think
blind playthrough.
I don't think I ever played it, but I know for sure that I watched my bud play System Shock 1 and 2. Like me and my best bud growing up and stuff, I was usually player 2, and I'd usually be like, map or take notes. Like I was like the navigator of the games, and he'd usually play them and stuff. And that's how we rolled for a lot of stuff. And then when co-op became a thing, ooh, fancy smancy.
Oh, System Shock had co-op. Oh yeah, it did. It did have multiplayer, didn't it? The first game.
I can't remember. Well, it's just, I'm talking about co-op in general, not just System Shock.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God! Someone commented in chat. Did you ever watch the Monarch show after finish? No. And as much as I have a man crush on Kurt Russell, I am not going to watch Monarch because fuck that noise. I watched the monster scene. I watched the supercut on monster scenes on YouTube. That's all I need. Are you familiar at all with the Monarch series?
Uh no, unfortunately. I don't really watch that's TV show, right?
Okay, yeah. So it's the Godzilla MonsterVerse TV show on Apple, and it's stupid because
Yeah.
it has all the modern culture war bullshit on it and stuff, and I knew that going in and stuff, and I was like, I'm going to wait for it. And it's like, and then the reviews, and I saw the synopsis and stuff, and I was like, nope, I made a good call. Because anytime something new comes out that I'm marginally interested in, I'll wait until after the fact. Like, for example, the Amazon version of The Wheel of Time. I knew that was going to be hot dog shit going into it and stuff, so I just avoided it entirely. And my logic was, I skipped out on the Sci-Fi Channel version of the Dresden Files, and by golly, I'll just skip out on the Amazon version of Wheel Time because, goddamn, you can't do TV show books good.
Yeah, I don't really watch any like the only TV show I watch is Star Wars, wherever it comes on. That's it. I did watch start a Trek binge like last year, but I just stopped after First Contact. But yeah, I don't watch the new movies, new TV shows,
Oh,
just games.
I couldn't do Star Trek nowadays and stuff. Like here's the thing: a lot of stuff I did as a kid, or played, or watched, or whatever stuff, it was kind of like the thing to do as a quote unquote nerd. So like I did my Lord of the Rings, I did my Star Trek, I did my Star Wars, and yada yada and stuff. But I didn't like most of it. until I actually end up finding the more niche stuff that I actually enjoy. And Star Trek is one of those big ones where like this is all a bunch of communist bullshit. No wonder I hated it.
I mean, yeah, I know there is like subliminal messaging and all, but I didn't really mind it because, the later Trek stuff, like especially the later seasons of TNG, Deep Space Nine, like they actually were pretty good story wise. I didn't really, because I don't really pay attention to all the political messaging. I know Star Trek has always been woke, but I didn't really pay attention to that.
That's fair. I know I've been immersed in the culture wars for like as long as I can remember. Because I remember when Columbine happened and stuff, and ever since then it was kind of just like, all right, I'm on guard. Someone's gonna be selling me some bullshit on stuff I know better, because like after Columbine, they were all like, "Oh, these video games. Oh, this metal, this heavy metal, and this
Oh,
rap." It's like, oh, you know,
they
like
still do that.
I know they still do that, but it's just a different it's just a different flavor. And like even before Columbine, I still remember the satanic panic for Dungeons and Dragons, because like I remember my mom
Oh yeah, I read about that.
I remember when my mom found out that me and the guys play Dungeons and Dragons, she was like, but then she actually watched us play and she was it immediately clicked. It's like, oh, you're a bunch of nerds, and then it was okay after that. And actually, I do remember this one interaction with my mother I had, and I'm so proud of it. And she was giving me shit for liking Metallica. And then I asked her, "Hey, mom, what did my mayor say about the Beatles?" And she had a come to God moment. and
Yeah, my. Oh, you go ahead. Finish up.
just finish that thought. And then fast forward like a decade later, I visit a home for one summer, and what do I hear on her CD player? Fucking fucking Metallica. I'm like, "Hey, mom, remember you gave me shit for Metallica?" And afterwards, it's like, "It's actually good." It's like, "Yeah, yeah." Okay, now you go.
Yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, my parents were actually pretty careful what kind of games I was getting because I got Grand Theft Auto, Liberty City Stories, and they didn't know like what it was. And when they started seeing some of the things in it, then they're like, okay, we got to be careful what our son's playing. But they aren't like that anymore. I mean, they used to be really hard on the idea that video games would make someone aggressive or would influence someone's behavior, but they slowly tapered off that, thankfully. They're not like that anymore.
Yeah, even in like in this day and age and stuff, like it's like everyone, like from the youngest kid to the oldest granny, has played a video game in some manner, whether on their phone, on their TV,
Yeah.
whatever and stuff. It's just like it's just one of those things now. It's like, what, you never read a book before? You fucking weirdo. It's kind of like now for that now. It's like you never played a video game. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you Amish? What the hell?
Yeah. Hey guys, we got riots happening in France. It must be those video games, you know?
Oh god. Yeah. Most of my political news and stuff is kind of just like all these distractions. That's all they are. They're just fucking distractions. I mean, shit.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to any political stuff.
I do, but my one little tangent on that is modern day clown world can come back to one event, and that was Occupy Wall Street. Once the wealthy elites figured out that the people were coming out for to them for blood and stuff, it's like shit. We need to divide the people. Oh, I know, racism, sexism, all those isms and stuff. And they once they threw that grenade, it was good for them afterwards because then the people went back to fighting each other instead of them.
Yeah, clown world. I'm just grateful I don't live in a clown world place, a pro clown world place.
Unfortunately, I was born in Canada. The only upside is I live in the middle of nowhere. Like honestly, the last Pride parade I saw was like 3 people, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm good here. As much as we have a shit ton of imports, but they're usually pretty chill.
Yeah, hopefully, because I know a lot of people like to move to Canada because of job opportunities and that. But I'm just hoping there's no race issues or stuff like that. You
Oh,
must
there
know better.
there is, but our main thing is that unlike America or Europe right now, where you're getting a bunch of Middle Easterns and Africans and stuff, ours is the visa program. We mostly get Indians, like dot not feather Indians.
It'll take all your tech jobs, man.
Well, tech jobs, grocery store jobs, restaurant jobs. But the visa program in Canada is a bit of a scam because what companies will do is they'll quote unquote list job postings and say, "Oh no, we didn't find anyone." Herp a derp. Okay, can we apply for the visa program so we can get cheap slave labor from overseas? Thank you. And that's the way it is.
Yeah, it's pretty much why, like for fast food, I don't know if it's like this in your area, but for fast food workers, for workers in the service industry, pretty much it's mostly this same few nationalities because they're cheap.
Yeah, and all it is the suppression of wages and stuff. It's like business. It's like basic business 101 shit and stuff. But most people are purposefully uneducated, and just so they don't realize that they're getting screwed by a system. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and that's why going back to my point earlier about when you were playing the game about jobs, like I was told just strike out on your own. Uh, don't keep the mentality of, oh, I need a job. I should actually just uh, come up with something on my own, like I mentioned, freelancing or open source projects. No one's hiring.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I went into the field that I chose. Like, because initially I went to university for biology, but it was just like I saw what was happening with my computer science friends. I'm like, hmm, these biology classes are several hundred people big. Hey, my geology class is only like 20. Ding. I have a feeling that's what the job market's going to be, and lo and behold, that's what it ended up being.
A good decision in the end.
Well, it's kind of just one of those pattern recognition things. It's like, I have a feeling this is probably going to extrapolate to the workforce if this is the numbers I'm seeing in the education. So,
Yeah, it's pretty much the. Uh, so you pretty much got spot on. I mean, like I mentioned before, like hardly anyone can find a tech job nowadays. We're getting laid off. So and people who usually come out with one degree end up like switching to another field out of uh, out of necessity rather than choice.
yeah, yeah, many such cases. But it is what it is sometimes. Like, sometimes life just deals you a shit hand, and you just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
We keep tangenting off of games. God damn it.
Going back to games, there's actually so the thing is that if I do start working or find something to do, so that does mean less time for games. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
Yep. Mm.
But yeah,
Oh, oh, I just realized that someone registered on my Discord in the Discord channel. Okay, if you're watching, read the pin message. You have to send me a screen cap of where I would know you from, which reads, like either the Kiwi Farms or the Virtual Asylum at this point, or hell, if I just recognize you off of Proctor server, that's usually good enough for me.
oh,
Just
you don't just take anyone?
Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to put any effort into managing this Discord. And Discords can get nuked from orbit easily. And I
Okay,
don't want
I'm opening this guy's profile. I can see mutual servers. He's a Proctor server. Should be good.
you see? Okay. I don't know. I kind of want the shit test of like, okay, at least put in the effort to actually read the shit test and do what I ask, but I guess I'll add him. What am I doing? Roll. Okay. It's been a while since I've done
Anyone I
this.
don't recognize here. Okay, there are a
Okay.
bunch of names I don't recognize, but I'm checking their profile and I see them. Okay, they are in Proctor's server, but they've never said a word there. Which is probably why I don't know them.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna take a chance. I'm gonna take a chance and just add him anyway.
You haven't advertised the server anywhere else, right?
No, I always I always pin my server in the chat box and stuff, and rarely anyone takes up on the offer. So it's out there. It's not like it's hidden or anything, but it's just like I don't want to let anyone in. Like for example, when Proctor was having his little woman moment and stuff, I invited a bunch of people I usually chatted with anyway and stuff, and unfortunately, I accidentally added Takodachi, and he immediately started shitting up the place. I was like, nope.
Yeah, I saw that.
Don't get me wrong. I find the guy funny and stuff, but he doesn't he can't read the room, and he always shits on the floor and stuff. And the only reason why he got in because he always changes his goddamn name because he's a fucking tard. So of course he has to change his name so people don't recognize him, and that's the reason why he got in for all of like an hour. And I was like, oh wait a minute.
All right, so he isn't in the server anymore.
No, no, no. I kick. Once I found out who he was, and it's like, okay, can you behave for a couple minutes? And he immediately started doing stuff, and I was just like, all right, no, you're gone.
Yeah, I mean the woman moment in the end it was bad at the time, but I think since then I've seen a vast improvement in Proctor's behavior.
It's an act.
It's an act. Hmm.
No, he's the type he's not going to improve. He got pretty much the long and short with Proctor is that he got called out and caught and stuff, and he's not sorry. Is that he's sorry he got caught having a tard moment, and those there are genuine tard moments, and those aren't going to go away. I've said it before, and I'll say it again when it comes to Proctor and stuff, is that he suffers he dual wields an inferiority and a superiority complex at the same time. It's fucking weird, but it stems from the fact that he's a country bumpkin who hates the fact that he's a country bumpkin.
Yeah, I mean I have my reservations about his behavior, but in the end I can appreciate what he's doing for the forum and the community.
Oh no, I'm not disparaging his work. I'm disparaging him. There's the difference.
Yeah, I mean even now he's still doing certain things which are pretty much cringe. Like
Well,
replying to VTubers and
well, that's
have you
what.
actually seen some of the things he said on Twitter?
No, I specifically avoid Twitter. I don't watch his streams anymore, and I tend to gloss over anytime I see him make a post on the forum. I just effectively I mentally ignore him because otherwise I'll
Sounds
just get
good.
angry. Or otherwise I'll just get angry because a lot of the old fags actually left because of his tard rage and stuff, and I only stuck around just for shits and giggles. But it's kind of just like okay, the time for fun has passed. My amusement has passed. So I'm kind of just like, hey, whatever. I don't care. Fuck off.
Yeah, let's just say that whenever someone or he himself posts a tweet that he's made on the forum, it just met with the cringe reactions. Like, dude needs to read the room sometimes. I
well,
don't
no,
hate the dude, but he needs to learn some things.
well,
He's
he can't.
31, man.
No, but he can't. He physically can't. He's legitimately autistic. He can't read the room. He physically can't. That's the thing. He will never learn. It's like Nolan. He's Proctor is Nolan with more impulse control. but that's it. And that's not saying much.
Nolan with impulse control and much older.
I consider I throw age out the window at this point, honestly, because there's a shit ton of people I chat with. There's like almost no middle ground for people around my age because either there's a bunch of people that are way older than me, or on the other end, old enough to be my kids. There's fucking like middle aged millennials are hard to find.
Yeah, I wonder what his midlife crisis is gonna be like.
He'll be fucking one of his birds.
Oh God.
Calling it right now. Or he'll go to Russia and get one of those domesticated foxes.
Oh man, are there even foxes in Ireland?
I want to say yes because I'm pretty sure the royal family pretty much released foxes everywhere they went for hunting.
Yeah.
But don't quote me on it.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens because have you seen the new announcement of what he's going through right now?
Oh god. Okay, I'll open it up. See what's see what's going on.
There are foxes. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Guy with no name. What's wrong with Odyssey? It doesn't show the name of the person chatting.
Uh, I don't know. Maybe his name is actually okay. Yeah, it's kind of weird because his name shows his name like Kemet Kyle or however you say your name. Your name shows up in my OBS chat. Fine, but the subsequent messages is just chat, and I'm looking at the Odyssey chat screen, and it's just all of them are just chat, chat, chat. So I think Odyssey is having a moment.
No.
But going back to the emergency thing. Okay, yes. Very first thing you did upon learning that we. Okay, I'm just going to read it entirely for people who want context. Hello, lovely. I can't do his gay voice. Hello, lovelies. This is an emergency announcement. As you may already be aware, I live with my parents on a small rural farm. Roughly 6 months ago, our extremely wealthy landlords decided to terminate our tenants' agreement that has lasted for nearly 25 years. The notice they gave us ran out 3 days ago, and yesterday they returned from California, aka my least favorite part of the world ever. The very first thing they did upon learning we have moved, because there is quite literally no unoccupied rental property in the whole Ireland right now, is threatened to cut off our internet access, which they can do for convoluted reasons I don't have the time interest to go into. This is highly illegal. You squatting after an eviction notice is illegal too, buddy. As is their notice of eviction and various other things they've done to us. We are in the process of fighting this. However, it's very likely I'll be offline for at least foreseeable future, aka until I take a laptop into town tomorrow. I have no clue where my internet goes, so I'm rushing this just a tad. I will not affect TVA in any noticeable way. In short term, please do not panic. The housing service is on auto payment, so I could be killed tomorrow and the farm will stay up and my bank account stop working. I will simply be less available than average, leaving this unlocked as containment post for discussing it so that doomsaying doesn't leak elsewhere. Yeah, he mentioned like way back when, like one of the last times I was on his stream and stuff, he did mention that this was coming and stuff. So I have zero sympathy at this point because it's not like they didn't have notice, and an eviction notice is a legal thing. Doesn't matter what he says, even though it's quote unquote unfair. They got evicted.
Yeah,
It's like tough shit. They got evicted and they're still there, and they're. I'm sorry. I've actually had to deal with this stuff before, so I have really no sympathy.
yeah. So I guess judging by what he's saying, like going by what he's saying, that there are no properties in Ireland he can go to. So I guess he and his family are gonna have to move out the country.
Well, he's been talking about it for a long while now.
Yeah, sounds interesting. I wonder how the housing market in the UK is doing.
Well, probably not good with all the migrants that are slipping in.
Yeah. So I guess that's a good thing for you, less Proctor to deal with.
I wasn't really dealing with him anyway to begin with, and I'm not completely heartless. I feel bad for his family and all that stuff, but I have a little bit of background and experience with this here stuff, and also the legal portion of it and stuff. It's just evictions aren't nice, but they were never meant to be nice. But they are a fact of life. Like case in point, when my dad drops, he has a couple of tenants and stuff, and I'll give him the offer of like, look, you can buy the house from me, or else you're going because I'm selling all this. I'm not keeping it.
Yeah. I've never had to actually experience any of this on my own because I don't really live on my own yet. So I'm sure if I have ever have to face such a situation, I think I know what to do.
Yeah. And I'm just thankful I got my shit together very early on, and I've owned my home since fuck when did I pay off this house? I paid this house off years ago at this point. Like I own my own home, and that's because I just had no life, and I just work, and put everything, and I maxed out my contributions to pay down my mortgage. It was kind of
That's good.
it was kind of funny because when I got my mortgage, I specifically went to the bank. It's like, look, I want a 5 year amortization period, and then when I get back the contract, it was like 10 years. I'm like, nah, 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 nah. I see what you're doing. Nah, nah, nah. I agreed to 5. I'm not signing this until you change it to 5, fuckers.
Yeah, actually, according to my dad, you can confirm this or not. But I'm buying your own house is actually worse than renting it because it's not even an asset; it's a liability because you're the one staying in it and you can't sell it or do anything to it, and you have to pay for all the maintenance and all that. But compared to renting, the landlord takes care of it. So, what's your
I
opinion on that?
I disagree. 100% I disagree. When, the fact I own my own home, I'm not sinking money into someone else's. Okay, pretty much. Here's my opinion on renting. If you rent, you are paying someone else's mortgage, whereas you can be spending that money on your own mortgage, and eventually it get paid off. If you're renting, it's never paid off.
Mm.
And honestly, the cost of maintenance of doing stuff, like I'm a handyman at the end of the day, so I do all my own work and stuff, so I don't have that overhead. The only time I ever have overhead is if I have to do something with the electrical, and even then, I have my electrical upgraded before I moved in, so there's that.
I see.
Yeah, so in terms of like carpentry and plumbing, I do all that stuff myself.
Yeah, I guess that was the right question to ask because two different places, two different contexts, all that.
Yeah, but I can understand the point of view of I can understand the point of view of a renter. I just don't agree with it.
Yeah, I guess.
You can also get the random not renewing lease, and they have to find a new place in the month. There's that too.
Mm. New place.
Excuse me. Yeah, like it depends where you're at as far as certain laws and stuff. Because like Proctor's trying to play it off is that, oh, they just sprung it on us. It's like, no, you mentioned this like a long ass while ago. It's like
It's
this is
probably we don't have the full context because that's what he told us, right? But um, the rent, not the rent, or whatever. That's his family's deal, though. So whatever's happening behind the scenes, we don't know. We just know whatever he tells us.
I'm sure even he doesn't really know, because again, this deal was between his parents and the landlord, not him.
Yeah,
Like for all we know, and he could know, is that his parents have been getting like nonstop. It's like, hey, reminder, your end is coming up. I don't know.
yeah.
Another reason why I don't have a lot of sympathy is because in North America, Canada and the U.S. have the same problem of squatters' rights. Squatters' rights are a thing, and they're a pain in the ass.
Water's rights. see what this is. It's
Squatters'
not.
rights.
I
Pretty
wish I
much,
knew about this stuff.
well, pretty much the long and short of it is that if you literally squat in a house, you can say it's yours. It's fucking bullshit. Like honestly, like a lot of houses, ever since the '08 crash, a lot of houses are left like unlived and stuff. And what people will do is they'll break in and live into them, and effectively, it's kind of like eminent domain. And then like, hey, you're not using it. I'm living here, and I've been here for a while, and here's the things to show I've been here for a while. It's mine now. And some places let that fly, and other places don't. It's fucking weird. But at the end of the day, it's theft.
Yeah, because pretty like these unlived houses, they're owned by other people, right? So if that's the case, then yeah, it's
Yes,
pretty it is theft. I don't know why they're not classifying it as theft.
because the world is retarded. That's why the world is
Yeah,
retarded.
best answer. Answer to everything. Everything retarded. It's the world.
Yeah.
This is why, which is why I just ignore all of it. Just do what I do.
Well, I read the news, but I tend to gravitate to the same handful. Much like games, I tend to gravitate to the same handful of topics and stuff. And it's just like, this is shit I'm interested in. If you're not interested in, that's fine. But this is for my own personal amusement. And geopolitics for clown world and stuff is just fascinating. That's why I don't watch like a lot of TV and movies and stuff nowadays and stuff, because the real world is just way more interesting.
Yeah, I don't watch anything new either. It's all paused garbage anyway.
Yeah, but I've been saying this for a while. The pushback is starting, but it's gonna be a slow but steady pushback. We all can't be the
I'm
farmers.
hoping it we reach a boiling point sooner or later.
Oh, don't get me wrong. The boiling point has started. Pretty much, the farmers and the truckers and the miners and like pretty much all, like the powers that be and the useful idiots that they control and stuff are all about, like communism, communism, communism. But the funny thing is, the actual laborers of the world are uniting against them. It's fucking hilarious. I love it. It's just it's
Yes.
just it's just so fucking poetic. It's just like, workers unite, not like that.
Yeah, I see a lot of people like being like quote unquote communist, but they don't actually understand what communism actually is,
Yeah, the other day I
what it
went to
actually entails.
Yeah, the other day I went over an article with an essay, really, an essay of like, why is this still a thing? Because there's always going to be new kids coming along who don't know better, and they don't teach that shit in school by design. So there's always going to be a new batch of useful idiots. So it's never going to go away. It's like fucking herpes.
We're just not gonna teach certain things in school, are we? And
No,
yeah, and like you said, it's by design.
yeah, like my favorite bit of one of my favorite bits from George Carlin is, they want you to just be educated enough to do all the work and pay all the taxes, but stupid enough to not realize that you're being fucked over by a system.
Yeah.
And even that's not going to last long enough with the machines, and like the machine revolution, like the real machine revolution is coming, and that's going to be fucking nasty.
Yeah, you're talking about like the AI stuff, right?
Yeah, effectively
Or
the AI stuff. The thing is, right now we're not. It's a matter of timeline. It's the matter of timeline, in that the timeline is going to be way too fast for us to deal with the ramifications of the system change, and it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be fucking ugly. You thought the Industrial Revolution was wild? Oh boy.
it's a good thing I'm not. It's a good thing I'm studying AI for a master's degree. Then can actually know how to use this stuff.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, the
Well,
only challenge is actually applying the knowledge and finding the right places to apply it. That's what I'm trying to find out right now. Finding that
I,
opening, as I mentioned before.
Honestly, at this point, just tough out your masters, and if you're going for a masters in that, they're you're very quickly coming up to the point where you're going to be able to write your own check.
Yeah, I'm just the dream is literally just having enough to support yourself and a family later on. That's it. That's all I need. I don't want anything else. If I can get that, I'm a happy man.
And that's all anyone should want. Normal
But
people.
if
That's all. Let me rephrase. That's all any normal people would want.
yeah, but most people aren't normal, as we've seen.
Yeah, yeah. I'm reminded of another George Carlin quote. Just think about how stupid the average person is and realize that half of them are even stupider than that. Laugh or cry. I made my choice. I'm going to laugh at Clown World.
I just ignore. I mean, I see it sometimes pop up on Twitter, but most of the time, it's just like I said before, I just ignore it because the only news I keep up with right now is just gaming news and some tech news as well.
Speaking of gaming news, I actually do have this lined up for next news reading stuff, but I actually found it pretty interesting. Let me see if I can just go to my news links. It's actually pretty interesting.
Oh, is this about Sweet Baby?
Yes, it's the
Oh,
sweet,
dude.
it's the sweet baby
I
one.
I saw snippets of it on Twitter, but I had to piece together the whole story. But it's a good thing I don't play modern slop.
Well, unfortunately, it's not so simple. Okay, so
That's why I
long
play old games mostly.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna give this the super abridged treatment. So there's this company called Sweet Baby, and what they are is they're a bunch of they're a bunch of failed writers, and what they've done is they banded together and decided to be failed writers in entertainment media, and of course they all have an agenda, which is the usual agenda that we've seen a million times,
Yeah.
and but here's the thing. They are fucking everywhere. Like, where's I know Kershaw showed this infographic before, but let's see, where is it? There we are. There's a lot of fucking game companies that use these people to write their fucking scripts. Xbox Game Studios, Electronic Arts, Valve, True Love, Santa Monica Studio, 2K,
Wait,
Ubisoft.
Valve.
Yep, it gets weird, wilder. Ubisoft, Square Enix, Warner Brothers, Finji, Polytron, Rocksteady, Co-op. I don't know what that thing is.
I mean, some of these I'm not surprised, but Valve doesn't even make games anymore.
I
They
know.
made like one Portal game.
That's the Compulsion Games. I don't know what that is. Chance Agency, Avalanche Studios Group, Deck Nine, Lines Entertainment, and here's mine: Wizards of the fucking Coast. That's the Narel, People Fly, Eco Software,
Hey guys,
Juvie.
so halflings are racist. We're gonna remove halflings or what else, whatever they did. That.
Yeah, but a lot of this, like a lot of these companies don't. I'm not terribly surprised. Like I know Ubisoft has been woke for a while. And but my the reason why I kind of found this here was Wizards of the Coast, and because I know Wizards has been like Magic and Dungeons and Dragons have been woke for a long ass time and stuff, and the fact that these chuckle fucks are writing their stories and scripts and stuff, it becomes like not a surprise. And like, okay, it makes sense now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a good thing they credit them in their credits, so we can know.
yeah, because what this started was from a curated Steam list, and that list got cut a little bit because a lot of it was hearsay from IMDb, their IMDb listing, and since anyone can edit that, like Wikipedia,
Yeah,
the author of the curated list was like, I had to remove all these because they couldn't be confirmed. But like you say, thankfully they're listed on the credits for the ones that are confirmed, so it's just like, hey, but they did a lot of shitty games like Kirsche mentioned them because they wrote the script, they wrote Alan Woke 2, and that's how she found out about them. I knew about them before,
yeah.
but I just didn't realize how pervasive they were.
Just seeps into your me wherever you go. It just seeps in insidiously. You don't even realize until until it reaches a point where how do we even phrase this?
The
Uh,
boiling the boiling frog thing.
I'm not sure what that is, but
Okay, if you
like
turn up if you have a frog in a pot of water and you slowly turn up the heat, it doesn't notice that it's until it starts boiling and it dies.
yeah, that's the right analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long-winded way of saying it, but it's either that, the slippery slope, which people try to use as a fallacy, but I like the proper terminology. My favorite expression for this concept is death by a thousand cuts. That's my favorite way of saying it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the agenda is also in indie gaming as well. Like a lot of indie
Yeah.
developers, if they're not woke themselves, they're supporting it.
Well, it's I feel bad for some of them. Like some of them don't actually buy it, but they have no choice because that's their livelihood.
Yeah, yeah,
Like for example, like a couple of times when I was at my last job and stuff, we had group meetings and stuff, and effectively, you had to say the magic words and sign off the paper. It's like, yeah, I acknowledge this here, stupid shit and stuff. And of course, me and the guys afterwards would be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
you don't want to lose your job.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. It's like, yeah, I'll say the magic words and whatever and stuff. Like none of us mean it. It's like, yeah, sure, diversity, inclusion, all that stuff, blah blah blah. It's like we don't care. We just want to keep our jobs and go back to work.
Yeah, and I saw a statistic, a graph that DAI is slowly killing industries.
It
Like
is.
it's driving down productivity, it's driving down sales.
Well, one of the reoccurring topics I cover and stuff is the actual. Here's the white pill moment. Like it is in decline. The pushback against all this nonsense has begun, but it's going to be slow. But it's going to be unstoppable slow. It's going to be a fucking glacier. It's going to be slow, but it's going to be mighty. And it's going to be I can't say permanent stuff, but it's going to be felt for a long time because this is going to be a meaningful pushback that's going to last generations and stuff, because a lot of this shit stems from the powers that be, and they're getting their shit kicked in right now, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm just glad I live in a place I don't have to deal with any of that. Just
And
do my own thing.
you just got to deal with everything else.
Yeah.
I know everyone has their own ups and brand flavor of ups and downs.
Yeah.
Like my last news reading, I covered Trudeau was having a meeting with the Italian I forget if they have president or prime minister. Either way, that the Melanie chick from Italy. She was over in Toronto talking with Trudeau for business dealings and stuff. And I shit you not, Trudeau got cucked out of the meeting because a bunch of Palestinian protesters were protesting the venue and stuff, and they literally got hate mob canceled, much like Milo and them back in the day during Gamergate and shit like that. They literally hate mob canceled the Trudeau Italy chick meeting. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't see the point of protesting like that. It's just wasting everyone's time.
Well, that's the point. It's not to draw attention to the, like, modern day protesting is not to draw to attention to the cause. It is to use as an excuse to stir up shit. I mean, like, we can look back in the 2020 summer of love, fiery but mostly peaceful protests. We all know how that went, and that never went away.
Yeah, and then you see BLM.
I just My little thing with BLM is that there was a separate organization that had that name, and unfortunately unfortunately it was the original organization was Black Lives Matter, as intended, as it says on the tin. But then the communists took over the name, and they literally sued the original group for the name, and then we saw what happened. So I actually kind of feel bad for the original Black Lives Matters group because their name is forever tainted with the riots and the commies.
Yeah. A lot of nice game discussion going on here.
It's so fucking hard sometimes because, like, I love me tangents when talking and stuff, which is why I kind of like, okay, go into these chatting streams like, okay, here's this one overarching thing I would like to stick to, but it never happens. It never fucking happens. Like even like Empraise, talking with her and stuff. It's like, okay, I want to go in and talk about her, with her about like the modern state of schools and her science and science and stuff, science and education, and then we went off the rails talking about fucking Pokemon.
Yeah, I before prior to this stream, I was actually thinking of things to talk about as well, but I didn't expect it to tangent this hard.
I know. Don't get me wrong. I do like it. Life, language, and everything else in the universe is a series of tangents, and I'm all for it and stuff. But there comes a point where it's like, I would like to stay on topic for once, because it's like, hey, we have a very simple thing: old school shooter games. We can talk about that for all of 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, what's the last shooter you've played? Huh?
If I'm being completely honest, okay, here's the sad state of affairs when it comes to me and shooters. The last shooter I played and the one I have most hours in of all time, it, the technical counts as a first person shooter is. Can you take a wild guess what it is?
Technically counts as a first-person shooter, and
I said it earlier as part of my roster of games I play.
oh, I don't think I remember. Can
Minecraft,
you give me a hint?
Minecraft.
Oh, oh, Minecraft, of course.
Technically speaking, it's a first person game with a shooting mechanic. To me personally,
Yeah, you shoot bows and arrows, and if you install mods, you can actually shoot guns.
yeah, it's one of those the most technical of technicals. But as far as legitimate shooters, fuck, what was the last legitimate shooter? Actually, probably yeah, the Turok 1 and 2 remakes that I got off of GOG. Those were probably the last legitimate first person shooters I played.
I see. Yeah, as I said before, I want to pivot off of FPSs, like purely FPSs. So that's why I started playing some more RTS as well. And now you saw me playing Mechanicus earlier.
Yeah, teenage again, as I said before, like kid slash teenage me. I don't know. Like I've tried going back to playing some of like RTSs and stuff, and I'm just like I can't do RTSs anymore. I just can't. Like my bag was always turn
Yeah.
based. My bag was always turn based strategy and stuff. But like I grew up on like Warcraft 1, 2, 3, Starcraft 1, 2 doesn't exist. Well, I could just say
Yeah, and
Blizzard.
that's the thing with RTS, like, oh, sorry, you go ahead.
No, you got it.
All right, so thing is, the RTS, like, I love my Command and Conquer, right? But the thing is, the multiplayer is just so sweaty, man. It made me, like, at the time when I was younger, a younger teen, actually made me pretty jealous seeing all these pro players and thinking how I'd never be as good as them because how much dedication they have.
Well, that goes for any game and stuff because if you know life a game, or nowadays with modern game design, if you just pay enough, you'll win. So it's kind of just like you're never going to win. So it's just like I just elect not to participate in the rat race.
Yeah. I think with RPGs as well, as I mentioned before, I wanted to stream them on channels, so I started with Planescape, but took me 17 streams to get through that one. So I don't think I want to do another one. Maybe Baldur's Gate. I have a friend who wants to play that with me. So instead of streaming that, I think I'll just record it and edit it down.
I'm with the omnipresent chat. I'm sorry, just that's just the way your name shows up now. For RTS, I only play casual versus or modded tower defenses. Ranked hurt so much. Yep, that was pretty much me for StarCraft and Warcraft, StarCraft 1 and Warcraft 3. That's all I ever did was play casual multiplayer games, or we played modded maps, mostly tower defense games. But I remember Defense of the Ancients when it was called Aeon of Strife.
Aeon of Strife. Never heard of that.
Okay, so MOBAs are a derivative of Defense of the Ancients, but Defense of the Ancients is derivative of Aeon of Strife. Aeon of Strife was the custom StarCraft map. It was pretty much Dota. It was Dota back in the day, but
Wow.
that's where the origin of Dota came from. Was originally StarCraft and not Warcraft.
Yeah, I've seen people try to make like Dota style maps for RTS games.
It's not too hard because that's literally where it started. So
Yeah. I've seen someone try like a bunch of Chinese players try to make it for like Red Alert 2, but I don't know where it's at right now.
I don't know. I never really followed the Red Alert series, and you mentioned Command and Conquer earlier. I never really got in that series. I really wish I did and stuff. And going back to play it now, I probably couldn't do it. So like,
I think you should. You go ahead.
I kind of wish younger me picked up the Command and Conquer series because I have actually watched all the FMVs on YouTube and stuff, and it looks like fun shit. And again, it's an RTS game, so like I would have loved it at the time, but nowadays, eh.
Yeah, if you were to get into it, I would get into Red Alert 2. That's the most, in my opinion, the most accessible one. And
Eh,
I think honestly, um like I would say the most balanced, but the balance in the Command and Conquer games typically isn't very good. But balanced as in quote unquote balanced, the most balanced Command and Conquer game. Because the one that came before Tiberian Sun is just the balance is really off. You just spam one unit and you win the game.
I remember when Tiberian Sun came out, and I remember that they're getting shit on immediately and viciously.
Yeah, it's if it's not and if it's not losing to an infantry spam, it's either losing to a flame tank spam or a single disruptor and a carry-all just diagonally firing at your base so it destroys it in one volley. There's so many exploits in that game. You can really do an exploit with grenades so it doesn't actually you don't actually have to target the building, you just target the area around it so you can do splash damage. It's insane.
Doesn't sound doesn't really sound like an exploit because doesn't do splash damage anyway. Like I fail to see where the problem is.
For certain attacks, you can just like for example, there's a unit called the disruptor. It fires a ray, right?
Right.
And it has a certain length. So if you go like if you're let's say you go to one corner of a building and you uh purposefully target another corner, like another diagonal corner, you can actually take it out in one volley. Usually it takes two or three.
Huh.
I'll try to look for a video for it.
No. After you explain it like that, there it does make a little more sense now. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But so I tried to get into multiplayer for those games, but I just really bad at it. I was not very patient at that time. I wanted to get good.
I don't know. One of the other than screen capture, one of the reasons why I stopped playing the Magic Arena on stream is because particularly when it comes to my card games and stuff, I get really swamp ass gamer, and I will. Well, back when I was on streaming on YouTube, I was dangerously close to throwing around the slurs and stuff that would get me canceled. Nowadays on Odyssey, that wouldn't really matter much anymore. But it's kind of just like, I'd rather just not play on stream anyway.
Yeah. But nowadays, like I am trying to challenge myself a little bit, so that's why I'll start selecting like higher difficulties because I can't keep coasting on easy. So
Well,
it
you
does
know
provide
what?
a good chance.
Well,
It
you
does
don't
get
want to
frustrating, but it's a learning
you
experience.
you don't want to be a games journalist?
Oh, what? Sorry?
You don't want to be a games
Oh.
journalist?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I want to be a games journalist and get shit on. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in terms of the difficulty level, because
No,
I've seen,
I've always played easy as a kid, but now I've started playing going on harder difficulties.
yeah,
Like you see me on the streams, I always go on the hardest one.
I mean, I've always played normal. I rarely go on easy or rarely go on hard. I just go like, okay, I'm just gonna go vanilla. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Like
But
my
that's only for oh, sorry. Good.
yeah, like my favorite Pokemon games are Black and White 2, and they were retarded in that they locked the easy and hard difficulty levels behind the main campaign. And I was like, motherfucker, put the front load that. That was the best. But yeah,
Yeah, what was I? Yeah, I will only choose the hardest difficulty if it's for a genre that I'm comfortable with, like the FPSs. And even for RTS, like when I played Halo Wars, I played those on Legendary. Like even though I failed missions a few times, it was frustrating to have that happen to me on stream, but I had to power through
yeah.
eventually. It's a good learning experience.
The omnipresent chat. 1 to 5 difficulties go 4. 1 to 3 go 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can
But
go.
for 1 to 3, sometimes the difficulty is not balanced correctly. Like
Well,
for example, uh,
it depends on the game. Like for example, like modern game design, quote unquote hard is just damage sponges. That's not difficult. That's just tedious.
or they just increase the damage. Like even the old games used to do that as well, just increase the damage taken.
Yeah, but it didn't feel as bad back in the day. Nowadays, it's just blatant, and like okay, I see what you're doing. It's like this is not fun. This is a chore.
Yeah. So okay, so I'd love to stay for longer, but I think it's time for me to go. We had a pretty good run actually, almost 2 hours.
This was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, we'll do this more often. Hopefully with more people this time. I think if we have like 3, 4 people, maybe we could get something going.
Okay, I'll just start bugging you guys in Discord since we got like
I
one new
know,
per
we have to
one.
figure that out though. The best time.
Yeah, many such cases. Anyway, well,
All right then. Thanks for having me on, and
all
take care.
right, later. And everyone else who decided to come, thanks for coming. Take it easy. Later.